Hello everybody, how we all doing? I'm a bit excited today. Doing some fun things. Let's go ahead and pause that for a moment, shall we? Hey, you know something different? Maybe? Do you know something different about me? Do you see anything different? Alrighty. I haven't gone in yet. I'm super excited. I don't know how long this is going to take. I don't know how much stuff they're opening up to us. I know there's a new zone. So we should have some more explory times. I'm excited. Am I weird? Am I weird? I don't think I'm weird. I might be weird. Oh, I could do this entire thing in an accent. I actually had thought about it because we're slowly, I don't want to say, we're still striving to reach Twitch affiliated. But I had the thought of like stuff I can do once I'm affiliated. I've already got most of the things around under the assumption that someday we'll reach affiliated status. Whoop, hi cat. He's been sitting there staring at me for a couple seconds. One of the things I thought about is like you say like, you know, you can have the little treasure down there. You say like, oh, you know what? I can have one of the options you guys turn in is to make me do an accent for so many minutes. I think that'd be a rather brilliant thing to try and do. Would you like to have me do an accent, kind? I'm already doing one. It might give me a chance to try and do something because I can do accents and I can do imitations. Like, gosh, Mickey, I never knew that we could go killing things. Well, what do you know, Goofy? That's all I ever do around here. Why else do you think they call this Kingdom Hearts? I just rip out everybody's heart. Not really sure where that went. I think I started off trying to go Mickey, and I'm not sure where I ended up at the end of that. What do we got here? Oh yeah, we did get human and orc heritage armor. I'll have to actually work on getting that on my warrior. More recruiter friend stuff. This is the more important one. Alright, Razagath and her storms are gone. Well, yeah, we kicked her butt. How about you, Cat? You're going to go running as soon as I open up my drink, though, won't you? Ow. I need to clip your claws, don't I? The way to the Reach is clear once again. Some of our allies have returned to establish a base camp. However, Sarakath and the Sundered Flame have begun making their way where we need to secure the island. Speak to the Healing Wings envoy at the seat of the Aspects to learn about the events in the Forbidden Reach. So, for those of you who don't remember, we got a couple things we're going to do first before we jump over there. Oop. For those of you who don't remember, the Forbidden Reach was actually where I'm going to turn that off. What do we gotta do this week? Travel the Forbidden Reach to collect Zeskura Vault keys and use them to open the doors in the Zeskura Vault. Continue your efforts in aiding the Veldrekkan Corps. Okay.
Until we meet again.
Wait, what else? What is there? It says there's another quest here. Like, there's this guy and there's another quest. Where's these other quests?
Aspects watch over you.
We'll see. I'll probably get it. Is something not loading in? There should be. It says that there's a quest, like, literally right here. Emissary War. Oh, there. Oh, there, you frickin'.
I am glad to see you again.
Are you cultivated good relations with the centaurs of Iranian Plains and ask you for a favor? Bane? Left for the plains a few days ago in search of a group of missing Tauren and offering accompaniment, but he insists on going alone. The Tauren of the Thunder Bluff have long been a bloody history with the centaur of Galandor, as does Bane. While the Maruk centaur are unrelated, I have my concerns.
Our thanks
Okay.
are always yours.
Well, that's something new we could do too. Wait. More important things. We'll go ahead and pick this up too. Let's see what else we get. I should get 2? Ruby Whelp Shell. It's actually a really good thing. And it's a 415 too. 415 with an avoidance. I gotta take that one. Yeah, I was talking with my group over the weekend, and we kind of agreed something I already knew is like the Whispering Icon is a great thing, but it's a raid trinket. It's not really a Mythic Plus trinket. So you get a 415 of this, which is almost wrong thing. That's an almost broken thing if you use it right, I guess. People didn't realize how to use it originally. I still don't fully grasp it. But you can basically train the dragon to kind of do a lot of stuff. So it can be an amazing trinket for any class. Ah, man, my nose is starting to get stuffy. Wait, what did I just get? In a high... Oh, I made it, didn't I? I did. I maxed out my Artisan's Consortium. I feel like my model is not moving. Oh, let me see this here. I don't know. Maybe everything's just feeling. I don't know. I just feel like I'm not moving in real time. Like it's just moving a little bit slow on me or something. The 29 gems. That's great. I want to go over here now. Have any country donate to this effort? Nope. I need to hold on to those. I don't really care about that. That's what I wanted, though. I want that one, and I want that one. We can make very good use out of those. Yeah, it feels like my model is just, like, it's not moving quite right. That's weird. I was not having that problem before I started streaming.
This is when you leave.
Pendants of
You have the
Impending
bright future.
Peril. Alright, let's see here. What do I need for these pendants? They're always down near the bottom, aren't they? Hold on a sec. I can hear my neighbors. Here we go. So what am I missing? I need 2 shimmering clasps. There they are. And 2 of these. Yeah, it is running just a little bit. Everything's running a little bit lagged. That's now that I've noticed it, it's just gonna drive me nuts.
This is your time. I will
Alright,
see you
turn
again.
this one in.
I knew you would like my wares.
Wait, where's my other? There, no. What the? Where'd it go? There it is. I'm like, wait, where's my mining one? Okay, let's go over here. Want to make sure, since I maxed them out, we'll max this one out here. So how do I want to handle this one? Gives me better mining out of Draconian, or this one is better at like overall. The portals by overloading tiny, allowing you to return to your original location after mining. That's not a big deal. Chance to contain a rousing air or rousing frost, not traditionally found by miners. I mean, it's not that any of those are actually bad. I think I'm going to max this one out instead. So what I get out of that? 10, 15. That's not bad. Not great, but it's not bad. Okay. So I got 17 points. Now I just need 13 more, and I will have maxed it out. And I can make all the diamond artifacts. Oh, wait, what is this? Who?
Hello.
Sonova Snowden.
See you around. Have a good one.
Anytime the new patch comes up, there's so many things that you just end up doing right at the start before like anything else that actually occurs. Farming you, there's breakthrough in the Winter Pelt language. Made a breakthrough with Thea Winterpelt dialect. You gotta get the ball rolling on this. Felt like I ought to keep you appraised. Meet me in Theranos Watch in the Azure Span, and I'll tell you all about it. But my new zone. New zone. Other shit. New zone. Other shit. Go back up here to the forbidden range. What is this? That's weird. New zone. Other shit. Alright, we'll try this. We'll try to figure out what else is going on here. We've got a couple hours. Worst case scenarios, I'll just end up streaming again tomorrow. Yeah, it's a little bit behind. It's not terrible, though. It's definitely going to drive me nuts the longer I look at it. A debt that must be paid. I haven't actually quite maxed out everybody yet, as you might notice that I'm not quite there. I'm 2 away with the Tuskar. This group hasn't been introduced again at all, and this is just a pain in the butt. Alright, let's see here. I assume this is Bane. Hello, Bane. What are you doing here, and why are you talking to me? You're a part of the Horde. The tribe of Tauren came to the Dragon Isles, led by a close friend of mine, Bovin Wind Totem. No one has heard from them since they entered these plains. If they have gone missing, I must find them. Unfortunately, I underestimated the size of this place. Yeah, so did a lot of people. You have an existing relationship with the Centaur. Will you go speak with them and see if they have information on Bovin and his tribe? Okay. Difficult memories. Yeah, the Tauren and the Centaurs of Kalimdor don't get along well with each other. They only like to murder each other. I mean, it's not like it's anything major or new. Good gosh, everything on this game is just going slow today. Let's see if I can close out a couple more things here. Get rid of you, get rid of you, get rid of you, get rid of you. Let's see what I have open up down here. Oops. Go away. No. Why are you even open? Yeah, we're pulling a lot of like crap right now. Can I help you despite Balakaz? Death and Nakun are still a thorn in our side. Contest the territory of my forces first then. Perhaps Sensokan can aid you. 2 other peoples. Huzzah! You know, Kat, if I didn't know any better, I would say you were spoiled. How about you? I know nothing of your missing friend, but Tomil might. She has led our scouting efforts and would be able to assist you. Tell her that she is to assist you on this matter with what you need. It's an upgrade for you before you swap to it or get rid of your old ones. Turns out downgrade for like 80% of spec. did see at Okay, so where is this person?
Speak up.
Both these Nakun hit and run raids by the Khan commands, and then I will help. Let me gather some scouting reports, and I will meet you and your friend outside the city. Huzzah! Ah. And down we go. I will not have you following us like a watchdog. I don't want to be here, but my Khan commanded me to help you with it. Get over it, Bane. You're dealing with a demon hunter and a centaur. Hey, I didn't ask her for this crap either. As return, we've seen an overwhelming number of outsiders passing the lane. Normally we keep borders, but if their sheer numbers combined with the Nakun made it difficult. Description: traveling along the eastern road, which started search there. As for your friend, my Khan gave me a command. A huffy companion won't stop me from carrying it out.
Finally.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Okay, which tree?
How may I aid you?
It seems the center here are not all that different from those of Kalendor. Well, it depends on which one. Survivor, the Centaur took them completely by surprise. Bovin led the braves of the Centaurs, hoping to buy time for the others to succeed, but Bovin and most of the braves have not returned. We must find him. You need to search the surrounding area. Find his fast. Tell them to make their way back here. You find any fallen, take something familiar to recognize their family. Okay.
We are stronger together.
I've been striking outsiders crossing the plain. This is no doubt their handwork. The survivor says that most of their food supplies were destroyed in the ambush. Collect meat from plentiful game. Okay, so 40 fresh meat.
I am not your keeper.
This will actually be more difficult while there's so many people running around doing stuff. So now we need to fly around here. Gotta keep our eyes open. Probably that's gonna be like the big enemies, isn't it?
Be careful.
You know, Cat. What you're doing. It's like you want attention or something. I do like the fact that what key did I get? Oh, I got halls of. Well, it's fortified week. That's not as bad as I thought. Thinking about it again, I was like, oh wait, no, it's a fortified week. Fortified week on it. It's not terrible. So what are the other fixes this week? Fortified, spiteful, grievous, thundering. It's not terrible. It looks like it's a pretty heal-heavy week. That just makes it a little bit easier for me, because I'm not a healer. Fortified is usually just considered an easier week in general. Just because it's the, just having to deal with, oh no, that's Tavin. As a hunting party. Anytime you have to deal with a fortified week as opposed to a tyrannical week is usually considered the easier of the two. However, they have stated already that affixes are getting an upgrade for the next major patch for 10.1. The next tier, I guess I could specify that out a little bit better. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what they do. I know that they're going to do away with the seasonal fixes, which I'm a little sad by. I actually really kind of liked having the seasonal fixes around. But, you know, what are we going to do? I'm not going to get over there in time. Oop, here's another one. I thought for a moment that was an enemy. I'm like, oh, could I get something from him? No.
Be careful.
Okay, so that's all the survivors. Now we need to find one more dead, and we need 18 more meat. Wait, did I prostrate over the body? I swear, my game is just not wanting to load in quickly, is it? Oh, no, there it is. That's why. A bloody axe. Alright, is this going to be enough? 7 more. Doing these types of things takes so friggin' long. I'm not going to get stopped there in time. Come on. I still gotta find more. I'm not done with the other quest yet either. Alright, 4 more. I need 4 more. I'd love to get that mog too. I'd love to get that appearance from my dragon. But unfortunately, that's only a chance. This is definitely going to make Bane still be more and more ticked off with. Ooh, can I get? Yes. This is going to give me a shite ton of meat, ain't it? 9. More than enough. Let's go. It's a lot easier when we're not trying to fly all over the place. Is there any other question, or is this the Inquisitor?
What? Go on then. Finally.
There's all your meat.
What brings you to me? Honor those.
I've spoken to survivors, and no one has seen Bovan since the battle. This headdress you found is one of the stories does not belong to him, so he is either still missing or captured.
Without honor.
Catch up with the others who fled. Hopefully Bovan and the other braves have regrouped with them. Seagrass is an abandoned village to the southeast. With her reasoning, her reasoning is sound, it's also the perfect location for a trap. I'll let her give it the benefit. Let us hope you trust her. Alright, let's go to the village. Yeah, before the stream, I was sitting there going, I was like, I've been wanting to do this for a while. To try and start doing, so I've had, my helmet before that I've used during Minecraft streams. I was kind of like, you know what? I bet I could find some warglaives. Bad news is that the Bovan we seek is theirs. Irritating news that everyone wants me dead.
Go on then.
As soon as we arrived, Bane was whisked away. Bovan is still missing, so he's speaking to someone named Tadgar. Of course, I've been left out here in the cold. It seems they don't trust me. No offense, but they don't trust centaurs. The centaurs of Kalimdor kind of like to kill them. Often. And readily. Torin, take the items you found and try to identify who they belong to. At the very least, you can let the families know what we've discovered so far. But be gentle. For some of them, this may be the worst day of their lives.
You'll be back soon.
I'm a demon hunter. I have been cast out by... What are you doing, cat? My husband is gone. My daughter will grow up without a father. What the frick was that? What are you doing? My cat was like climbing up onto my desk. I don't know what he was sniffing at, trying to get at.
Goodbye.
He just like jumped up and away, and I was just kind of like, what the frick? Well, it's above it. I would leave a search party if I could, but we are no condition to leave the village. Oh, well, I found something. They're going to set up a village here for the Torin.
I am Bane, son of Care.
But she's fearing her worth.
We are
If Bovin
strong.
is not dead and he is not here, then he's still out there or he's been captured. Given Tomel's message, I fear the latter. The Wind Totem are safe for now, but with an attack possible, they can't spare any braves to go after. It's up to us. Well,
Without honor, we have nothing.
Ikuzo, baby! Let's go, bitches. And boom. Centaur of this outpost are my clansmen. I sent for solicitors to do
We fight when we must.
wants me to wait for her. Tomo wants me to wait for you in her encampment, but I politely declined to do so.
Earth Mother, guide us.
My term are carried out by an enemy inclined known as the Naku. Just down this road is their closest outpost, and it's most likely location of the torn prisoners. Rescue the captives. We do not know how many there are or how long they have been here, so we must hurry. I speak from experience when I say Centaur do not keep their captives for long.
We serve as caretakers of this wood.
Captain Torin, but I have a personal request. This place we are assaulting was once my home. The Nakun took over the surprise during the Civil War. Take these Shikar banners. When you kill a Nakun, plant a banner on their corpse.
I am not.
Well, this will be fun. Oh wait, other direction? Go the other way. No, but this anymore.
The Nokud Centaur attacked
Let's, how you say? Let's go, bitches.
and their vile primalist allies.
I don't have a target.
Alright, can I get all three of them at once? I can. Yeah, we'll end up finishing up the world quest while we're here. Usually that's kind of what ends up happening. I'm not too concerned about... I have a week to do that quest. And it's not even that necessarily that super important to me at this point either, since I've maxed out almost everybody. I mean, it's nice because I can get bonus caches from them all. Ah, I forgot to put the corpse in that last one. Okay, I need... I've been going around here and doing this kind of stuff for a while now. None of this is new. I'm thinking what's going to happen is I'm going to finish up this quest. I want to go do the...
I'm out of range.
I want to go do the new stuff. I want to go to the new area.
You set them on their back hooves.
So it'll probably end up being a... after this, we'll probably go and just head up to the Forbidden Reach. Get that back in. Because that's kind of the bigger thing right now, is just kind of go and do that. And I'll probably end up doing... I'm not going to focus as heavily on the side quests. I did kind of some of that stuff with the patch launch, because there was so much to do at that point. But I don't think I'm going to focus in as heavily on that. I'm trying to also find some new games to play. New stuff. So I've got an idea for a couple different games that I would kind of like to play, but obviously I'm still trying to actually go back. I need to plant banner in the corpses of mine enemies. The only thing about these quests is it always ends up being somewhat frustrating because you've got to kind of get around everybody else. Let's get these little bastards. I was actually talking last expansion with some of my friends because one of the areas in the last expansion, Ardenweld Forest, the big enemy they ended up doing for that particular zone was I'm trying to remember where they're going. Throth. It was this enemy that was introduced in the BFA, and the thing was, is it's like, arguably, it was actually probably the best, if not the. It's like it was probably the best thing they introduced from the. Oh, okay, this way. From the standpoint of the Alliance, it was the best area, it's the best zone, best basically everything. And the fundamental problem was that they basically did jack squat with it, and it really ticked people off.
Finally.
Spirits watch over you. Stand strong. Stay true.
How long is this taking? If it's not here, then Akun could have taken him anywhere. We might have found one less chance, but it's a long shot. One of the Oh Dear Mystics might be able to use it to help divine his location. Springs and help look us for Baku. Okay.
I am not your keeper.
Didn't he used to have more? I'm not going to try to figure that out. Alright. Now we got ourselves a little ways to go. Carvin, the new patch is going great so far. We haven't gotten up to the new zone yet, but doing some of the new side quest stuff that they opened up. How you doing today? Gotta get. The plan was we're going to try and finish up this side quest and then head up over in that direction and see what the new zone has for us. Oop. Come back up here, you.
Your name is
You want to make up your
whispered on the
mind, Cat. Where do you want to be? Do you want to be up here or do you want to be down there?
wind. Go where the wind takes you.
Few items. Selection of flowers that grow at the base of the springs. Heart of a salamander. Alright.
Fair skies, friend.
So I figured I'd get the new patch itch. Yeah, no, I know that feeling. I was debating it myself while I was working earlier today. It's like, do I want to see if I can find somebody or... Oh, there you are. Come here, you. How on earth do you try and tell me that these things don't have hearts? Touch a little of the Forbidden Reach, but I haven't done anything with Bane or the Furbolgs yet. They're interesting. Yeah, I was debating when I first got on. I was like, do I want to jump over there or do I want to go? So I figured I'd do this one, and then I might touch off and see. Because my other thought was when I first started getting on was, oh, let's go do the main stuff and get the new ring. But then I was reading on one of the discords, and I was like, kind of going like, oh, so the ring is massively undertuned and not great right now. Well, that's nice. Let's not worry about that as much. Oops. Oh, ow, ow, ow. Cat. It makes me wonder if they're going to start introducing the Tauren into this zone more. So it seems they might end up having a Tauren settlement. No, and especially it's kind of like, I was trying to figure out what exactly to do because I got a little bit lucky with some of like my ring stuff, so I actually have like the best in slot rings for demon hunters. I was kind of like, oh, I'm gonna have to drop one of them. Which one do I want to drop? And now I'm just kind of going like, well, we'll have to wait and see exactly. Get all the gems too. It's not something you can just grab right away and use right away. I'm actually on this tune. I'm actually a jewel crafter, so I can make most of the gems. I haven't quite maxed out all of the diamonds yet. I'm working on the last one. So I can get gems, most gems pretty easily, unless they've come up with new ones. Come on, where did all the salamanders go? Specific gems? Oh, it's one of those types of ones then. Yeah, if it's something that's like a specific gem, then it's something that's probably going to take time and effort to get into. Hey, here's one. There we go, finally. I always get a little annoyed when the games are like, go and collect this thing, and you end up killing like half a dozen of them. They look to have all active effects, or well, at least the two.
Calm heart, clear
Actives.
blessing.
Let me just grind these flowers. There we go. Take these items, place them in the incense burner. That's the entrance. Alrighty.
Follow your heart.
And grant us your aid. Show us where we find Bovin Wind Totem. Who's that centaur with him? Jamoku, powerful of the Nakun, ally the Primalists. And as a Nakun hold, this mission has now become too dangerous for just us to handle. I bet I could get into Nakun hold. Alone against an army would be foolish to even try. Have you met me? Potions that will mask our presence. We have no time to find aid. We must go or Bovin will die. What are we gonna do with you? Alright, Bane, what do you want to do?
Honor those who
Centaur, they have proven token amounts of aid. They can never risk themselves. With a hand, cannot allow Bovin to remain in Centaur captivity. I will set out immediately for the hold. Meet me there as soon as you can.
we are strong.
Oh, like, that reminds me. I thought they said something, or is it this one or is it next one? Oh, nope, they did add in more. Flat back, reducing movement. Okay. Seems a little bit of a weird thing. I suppose that could actually help out more when the race is. Activating aerial halt while affected by Thrillist Guides generates 1 vigor. Interesting. I can see where that would be useful in races.
The Torrens stand proud. We serve
Not necessarily super useful in just generic flying. Technically, I haven't barely even used the... What do they call this again? Bronze Time Lock. Time is against us. We must find Bovin and quickly. This will hold our teaming with Centaur, and search will go faster if we split up. Take one of the potions I brought. It's help you go undetected, but be aware of the Nakun war dogs. They'll sniff you out.
stand strong. Stay.
Alright. We'll do this your way, and we'll go invisible. It could help, but I don't really think it's going to do much for most people with flying. No. Well, that's the thing. When they said they were going to add more, the only thought I could have in my head was really them adding stuff like the adding more vigor. I couldn't just trying to think of a new ways to improve on it. Those I could see that be useful when doing the races and things like that. So I'm bitten off by a dog of some sort. Just due to you have those couple times in races where you just need to like you overshoot or you miss or something, you have to back up a little bit. Usually though when I'm doing stuff like that, usually the bigger problem is I find that one pixel branch that's just gonna screw me up. So learn smack dab into that and get no momentum. Gain 2 died on interrogation, 1 yet lives. Go around the dogs here. You also fall victim to the branch. I don't understand how that freaking branch manages to stop my dragon just full tilt, but alright. Now I'm being drawn into the fight. Oh, lovely.
It's too far away. You need to get closer.
Come on, you little bugger.
I don't have a target.
Alright, there we go. That'll break that. Oh, it's an elemental storm, that's why. I didn't realize that was going on over here right now. This one. Oh yeah, let's pop the potion again. Potion, let's go for a walk. Oh, I didn't pick up the quest for that. Oh well, I don't need it. I'll pick it up later. I've already got 34 storm sigils. Unless they upgrade the actual items and stuff you can get and improve with them, then there's no major rush on that one.
We fight when we must.
I was too late.
For Azeroth.
Oops.
For the Horde.
Nope.
When I was young, the centaur took me. It was Bovan who found me and aided in my rescue. Without him, I never would have. It was my turn to rescue him, and they have robbed me of it. They will never hurt anyone again.
Well, Bane's on a warpath. This is gonna be fun.
How may I
Slay the centaurs. Oop, okay, stop, come back here.
Earth Mother, smile upon
Same.
Earth Mother, guide us all.
Son of Cain, I'll have justice.
I need a target. I don't have a target.
Oh, this is gonna be a long one too. Each one's only gonna give me 3, then this is gonna be a long far. Luckily, there's a bunch of them.
It's too far away.
Back here, you. Come on, you young whippersnappers. Let's go hunting. Are these guys even elites? Oh, they are. Oh well. Doesn't feel like they are. I also got to talk to my raid leader at some point and figure out if he's actually gonna do the achievement run in Vault or not. We gotta think about doing that one soon if we're gonna do it. But we also just finished doing Heroic last week, so it's probably not in a big rush to hop back in there and try and actually... Although since we're doing achievements on normal, uh, that would be relatively an easy enough thing to do. It wouldn't
I
be...
need to get closer.
Come on. There we go. Alright.
Something first.
Spirits watch over you.
Dozen. See, breathing hard. I will not let him escape.
Without honor, we have nothing.
Until Jamoku pays for what he's done, I will avenge Bowman.
Honor those
Go
who came
Boban.
before us.
Alright, so...
Too far away.
What stunned me for so long? Oh, no, that was nice. I knew I
Well
liked Bane.
I did not believe you would come.
Honor is of great importance to my people.
Yes, as it is to mine.
Come, let us gather our dead.
I am Bane.
Menu Centaur, we have... God dang it.
Spirits watch over you.
Should not have taken on the entire Nakud army. Why not? I do it all the time. Save a Tor.
Stand strong. Stay true.
What do you have to say, Scoot? You are lucky we arrived when we did. My gosh. Stop resetting. We lost 2 of our number in that battle. Their bodies have already been recovered. Bovan's the last. Will not take long to rally and hunt us down. We must leave now.
We'll be back soon, sure.
Meet the scout in the village.
I am
Okay.
not your keeper.
Clearly they have not been in the Nakud offensive raid. Or dungeon, excuse me. I kind of take on the entire army. And then some. It's that weird, almost like hilarious position to me where it's kind of like you go in there as the player, you do these huge dungeons, you do these huge raids, you just just slaughter your way through swaths of enemies, bosses, generals. And they're like, we can't take on an entire army. I bet I can take on at least half of them. Especially as I'm geared up. What am I right now? 409. That's how far along as I'd like to be, but I'm hoping by the time the next tier drops that I'm at least 415. And so we left. He had just realized how much Bovan meant to him. Good after his funeral. My Khan's command has been fulfilled. It was not the outcome we would have liked.
Finally.
The Torah stands.
Lost 2 of their own during the battle. All of Tomu's reinforcement, they volunteered to help of their own. I have much to consider. After speaking with the Shikar, we have decided to honor our dead together. We have blended our funerary rites into one ceremony for this occasion. Be honored if you stay and participate.
Without honor, we have nothing. Earth
Sure.
Mother, guide us all.
Very kind heart cared for the orphans. Animals, she would nurse any injured animal back to health with a bakar or rotuk. Goodness will live on in me. Light it. There we go. Karul filled our lives with silly jokes and laughter. I hear his voice and my daughter's laugh, and will remember him always. Me for certain death, he asked for nothing in return, and I lived a life dedicated to courage, humility, and honor because of him. I can never repay him, but I hope my words and my deeds honor his memory always.
We fight when we must.
Why did he bring... God's people remain. Why did he bring them here? What did he see in his visions? The Windtome have always been nomads. Perhaps he saw they might finally have a home. Or did he know what would happen with the centaur? Did he bring us here to make peace with them, or make peace with the hatred in our own hearts? According to his ideals, I must love and honor his
We
memory.
are stronger together.
Excuse me. I have a message from Mela in Valdraken, relaying what has happened. I suspect she will be relieved to hear from me, knowing she was right to send you.
For the whole. All.
Few who have gone to great lengths, you have to aid me in this endeavor. No personal stake, yet you risk your life for my sake. For this you have my deepest gratitude. Should you one day require my assistance, you need only to ask. There's one last person I must speak to.
Honor those who came before us.
Hatreds. Okay. And let's get that. Alright, let's go south. Not that one. I don't want that quest. There we go. Academic assistance. Wait. How close am I? It's probably faster just to fly there. I was looking to see how close one of the towers was that I might be able to just teleport there, but I'm like, it's going to take me just as long to get to one of the towers. And the tower that I could get to that's closest would be the tower that's also closest to the quest. So, that's not likely to be of any real major use. See what else. Let's do this one here. Alright, what have you got this time? Yeah, it's nice to see you. Alright, Primalist Pillagers. I'm starting to grasp the tactics and the basics of the Winterpelt. But what I'm picking up is grim. Seems a band of Winterpelt foragers fell afoul of the nearby Primalists. The winters may be harsh as any Dun Morgoth, and the supplies we're gathering will be sorely missed. Why don't you see about recovering what you can? With prejudice, if you don't mind.
Off with you. See you soon.
There's nothing we can do for the foragers. The primal is killed, but we can at least try and provide some closure to the kin. See if you can find anything personal, nature of the fallen. I'm sure the Winterpelt will appreciate whatever you can bring him.
Watch your back.
Yeah. Took him almost an entire patch to actually put in that group that you literally could unlock their rep at the beginning of the expansion. Alright. So same basics start out here. kill a bunch of stuff, get a bunch of food. I am a little confused as to what all the elementals are doing around here. Come on. Oh, sweet. Closer. Two. They're all over there now. There's a bunch of guys around here, though. I'm gonna have all the food and stuff I need right now, aren't I? Yep, I am. There we go. Alright. So now I just need to collect the rest of the winter pelt jewelry. And then we can go on to the next step. And that was a little bit confusing when I first kind of was like looking into rep and stuff and realized that I have an entire group that there is literally nothing I can do with right at the start of the expansion. Most of the time when you get into the reps, he's like, you can actually at least work on every group that you have, but having one right at the start where it's like, yeah, that's great. You're just going to be hated by them for a while. Or I'm unfriendly. Hated lower than unfriendly.
Off with you. Safe travel.
Alright.
Watch your back.
Turn that one in.
Off with you. Safe travel.
I'll head up to the village and give them the bad news, or try. Winterfelt's a right tricky dialect to learn. I need you to get out there and find the furbolgs with some right samplings to study if we ever hope to communicate properly. The Primalist wiped out or converted most of the remaining furbolg in the span. So go shake them down whatever until you find it. Oh, goody.
See you soon.
Really? Alright. Let's see what you got. Trying to find liberated furbolg artifacts without actually knowing 100% what I am looking for. I don't know if it's a drop or not. They make it sound like it is. In which case I just need to figure out who or where it's supposed to drop from.
I don't have a target.
Alright, is this gonna give me anything? I doubt it, but... He gave me 3. Now, if only I knew exactly what those dropped from. As we just keep doing what we've been doing. Oh, there's one. And 5. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Let's get back over here. I assume this is the village.
How are ya?
Alright,
What's
I
the
usually
right?
got.
See you
Gonna need a
soon.
lot more. Oh, I moved up to neutral with them at least.
Hi.
Okay. So this is just gonna become like the norm, isn't it? Learned a new language. Wait. Does that fall into my general? Where's my language? Here's my language. Okay. So, okay, I see now what this is basically going to end up being. So this is a long game type deal. So it's a, you can see down there in my dialogue, in my text box, one of them has said something. There's a lot of, I assume it's going to be their language. It looks like a lot of kanji almost, but nothing, far more animalistic. But then the word Sally DePally in the middle of that. And seeing this here with my language is my proficiency at 1 out of 100. It's just going to be
Safe travel.
you go around here collecting more and more of those. It's just a collection thing that you have to do over a long span of time. I wonder, because I mean, I jumped up by 3,000. I assume that not every single one is going to be that. Yeah, you're just gonna have. I want to try and do at least one more time just to see exactly if I can figure out how much I'm gonna get, or if it's kind of what I think it is, and I kind of just think it's just gonna be a, like maybe 1-to-1, turn one quest in, move up by one level, essentially. I could see them doing that. They really need to get away from some of the more grinding aspects, but I could see them doing that just to kind of be like, oh, well, you have to keep playing if you want to finish this. Okay.
It's too far away.
So it'll probably end up happening then.
Out of range.
Does that give me four? Four of them.
Need a target.
So that'll probably be something. It'll be I don't know if it'll actually be like a quest or something that you have to do over time, but it'll probably just be something I'll end up doing slowly over time as I kind of play through. Alright, that's 5. Difficulty of this is going to be less about trying to remember to do it and more about trying to remember where exactly I need to go. Also, let's see here if this is actually weekly, daily, or what. Cataloging this batch, this will increase my understanding of the Winterpelt language.
See you soon.
Yep, that's kind of what I thought was going to happen. So that has increased my proficiency to
Watch your back.
2. Your. Goody, I can understand one word. Alright, let's just hearth our way back to Valdrakken. I will spend some time doing that on my own. I'm not going to sit here for the next, 5 hours. Just grinding out those. It doesn't look like they're very difficult to get. So it'll probably be something where I can spend a decent amount of time uh, doing that on my own, but there's no guarantee in essence that it's going to be anything of real any good. All right, wait, is this? That's one's over there. Where the? That's the 4 mythic dungeons. Did I not get a quest? Chat, am I going crazy? Did I not get a quest? Did I not get a quest to come back here and talk to? I think I'm going crazy. Alright, we'll just fly up here. Let's get our way back to the Forbidden Reach. Alright, who am I talking to up here? Although I suppose... Let me empty my bags here first and foremost. 549. What did I do? Oh, you know what? I was doing dungeons. I died. Wait, when did I pick this up? Oh, wait, no, that's right. I was emptying out my bags and stuff. That's right. I spent a lot of the weekend on my warrior trying to get his rep up a little bit higher so he can make the bags and stuff. Alright, that's enough.
I will do my
Tell me what has happened. Is this a flashback or a flash forward? Let's find out. Ooh. Or cutscenes.
The storm is receding. The reach is ours once again.
Oh, look. The
Take cover.
primals. Makes sense that this would come back to.
Who are they, Sokareth? Is it the aspects?
No. Razageth's kin.
So they can take human form too.
The last echoes of her storm are fading. She is truly gone.
We should be devouring her murderer's heart.
Do not underestimate them, Farak. Our sister's overconfidence was her downfall. While the Aspect's power has waned, their forces grow stronger. And we must even the scales.
They kept so many secrets. From us. And even from each other.
I'm impressed.
It is here. Neltharion's betrayal shattered their unity, left fissures in their hearts. Yet the pain he inflicted was only the beginning.
Avarice. His hidden laboratory.
One last secret, deep within the earth.
The location of Avarice must lie within this vessel. I will decipher its knowledge.
What use are Naltharian's twisted experiments to us?
The laboratory itself is of no consequence, but the molten fire that powers it, that we can use.
Keep eyes on them, Desrin. Whatever remains of Naltharian's legacy belongs to us.
Oh, goody. Shit hit the fan. Alright. Discovered our scouts, the Incarnates, and the Sundered Flame are both formidable foes. I'm uncertain as to whether we'll be able to safely monitor the Gem without retribution. Situation is heating up. Some of the Draki have already returned to the island, but they're going to need a lot more to help building up their base.
Stay vigilant.
Well,
Good health to
what's
you.
this? Create a soulbound item for your class. So we're going back to that. Okay. The Reach was our training ground. Now it is time to return. The item still holds secrets. Scale Commander Viridia has gone ahead. She awaits the arrival of any who would lend their aid. Okay, blah, blah, blah.
Farewell.
Well, let's go! I technically have already been out there. That was something... Did I do that on stream? I don't remember if I did that on stream or not. I have a tendency to try and go everywhere. I have a tendency to try and go everywhere that I can on the map. So I did, in the early days of the expansion, I did try to fly out to the Forbidden Reach. Now, I will caveat this by saying I did make it. I made it to the southernmost tip of the Reach, and Blizzard frickin' expected me to because it lasted for 3 seconds before I was killed by lightning. So, well, yes, you could reach the Reach beforehand. You weren't going to survive for very long. The longest I could figure you could probably do is if you had a total immunity, then you would last for however long the immunity was. Like, it shot me off of my dragon when I got close. So it wasn't something like you could just fly through there. It booted me off my dragon. But it was fun, wasn't it? I think I did that on stream because I think I want to say, or maybe I didn't do that on stream. Oh, man, I'm trying to remember now. I definitely had a what is this stupid thing? No. I don't even know how these people are inviting me for crap. My guild is selling Vault normal 8 carries. No, go away. I don't even know like how these people are inviting me to this crap. They're sitting there and like there's a lot of people out there right now trying to sell like Vault carries and things like that. And they do it in the weirdest way. They're trying to circumvent. Blizzard has a crackdown on a lot of like people trying to sell stuff they don't want them to sell. So they usually try to end up getting rid of it or selling it off. Try to lay down a little bit of the smackdown on that. It only partially works because they usually find ways around it. Like that. I think that's technically a way around it. You can still sell stuff. People will sell key runs. They'll sell normal clears. They'll sell heroic clears are more popular, just because downing Razageth on heroic obviously will grant you the ahead of the curve achievement. So people would rather just do that. But obviously that doesn't always work out the way they... What the frick is that? That's way down over... Oh, that's Warden Ed. No, that's not it. Oh. There's a lot of stuff going on. We have got a lot of stuff to do, don't we? Alright. So the first thing we're doing is establishing ourselves.
How can I help?
You've come from the mainland. Our call has been answered then. Our corner of the island from our base of operations is secure.
I am Viridia, scale commander of the Healing Wings.
So,
We are here on a
what do I
mission
get here?
to help those track near the
385.
and make the reach safe for all.
Cape of Raging Tempests.
But we are finding ourselves
Did they add a new?
stretched thin, and we need as
That
much
is not
help
what
as
it
we
comes in
can
my head when I
muster,
think of a Cape of
which is
Raging
why your
Tempests.
arrival is greatly appreciated.
Okay, so they did add a. They added a new transmog. War mode. That doesn't look great in my opinion. Crafted. Red is what I picture. Not a fan of the fact there's not a cloak to it, but red is what I picture there. The Forbidden Reach, green. I do kind of like the helmet, but at the same time it looks a little bit weird with my Demon Hunter horns. Alright, this one I think is actually an old one. I take that back. Did they not add? I would have thought if they would have added like a new one since they were going to give us stuff, but maybe not.
My duty is to help others.
Okay, so while the storm of the Reach was raging, I gathered allies for our eventual return. I want to ensure they have everything they need, but I can't welcome them all personally. My envoy, speak to the newly arrived denizens. Okay. We're not the only ones who took notice of the opportunities. Our scouts sent word of pirate vessels moored offshore. The first longboats have apparently come ashore. Oh, great. We're going to go deal with some more pirates again.
Careful not to break anything.
With the lifting of the storms, we dispatched scout teams to explore the island. Several teams have not yet returned. We fear they may have fallen to unknown dangers. Can you search the island for them? Direct your scouts at 3 locations.
Look out for each other.
Alright, well, first things first.
A stranger here?
To check on you. I was fretting over others before herself. Hardy Fort, blah 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 blah, doing news. Okay, they're fine. I am a little bit confused as to why there are so many Tuskar here. Sounds a more unique opportunity.
Careful out there.
What do you have up here? Contains Dragon Isle supplies and other rewards. Wondrous fish. Okay. New pet for 25,000 elemental overflow. I do not have anywhere near that much. Strong fishing pole. You know, it's going to take a lot for them to find a fishing pole that beats mine. Especially considering the fact they at one point actually considered not letting my fishing pole actually go through after Legion. I've got the legendary fishing pole of legend. Alright, last person I need to talk to. The Obsidian Wardens! Alright, everybody's happy. Ish.
Shall we? I have patience to see.
Reputation with the Obsidian Warders increased by 250, so there is a new... Wait. Who are the Obsidian Warders and why are they not on my list? Why are they not on my list? Alright, so first things first. Researcher. Researcher? What do I researching stuff here? Who's the researcher? Who is this? Who's it? Ah. Apprentice Primalist Researcher. You just have... Oh, no wait, these are... Are these the same ones? I never actually went out of my way to buy all of these. Oh, I do have enough for the mount though if I want it. How much do I have? I have 3,100. I'm just going to hang on to them all for right now. More than likely... Oh wait, that's for that one. I don't have the keys. Oop, come on up here. There we go. I'm not too worried about getting to the 3,000. I can get to 3,000 pretty easily normally. What are you meowing about down there, cat? It's not time for your food. You got another 15 minutes. Are you just meowing because you want to meow? everybody's just gonna give me elemental overflow? I mean, I'm not gonna complain about that. The other thing I'll have to do is I'll have to get onto my human warrior. And,
Too far away.
I have to get onto him and see about the quest for... I'm back here, you. See about the quest for the heritage armor. Sometimes some groups just like automatically give it to you, other ones don't. The other thing I'll have to see is if they put any stipulations or anything like that onto it. Because in the past, like, who was it? It was the Blood Elf. I do have a rogue Blood Elf. I don't actually do much with him. I haven't played him in over an expansion. But they had heritage armor for him. Worgans have heritage armor, but you have to be at a certain rep with kind of like your home faction group before they actually let you do it. And if that's what they need, I have to look. I'm not sure. I want to say that my warrior is renowned with Stormwind, or exalted with Stormwind, excuse me. But I'm thinking about it. I was just like, I just don't remember if he is or isn't at this point. I'd have to actually go through. I mean, if he's not, there are ways of getting him up to being renowned. It wouldn't necessarily be the easiest thing in the world.
What news?
Here's here to plunder and loot. Well, yes. Alright, I did see on my map. Alright, let's see. Nope. I had it. There we go. This has actually been a little bit of a fun little thing that they did this expansion. Having you actually be able to like place flags. Because a lot of times they'll put like little secrets and stuff up in some of the higher way places. In BFA, if you climb to the top of 2 of the tall mountains... oh, there's a dragon glyph nearby too. It's up there, isn't it? Oh, nope, it's right below me. Gives. Can I get out? There we go. What was I saying? I have forgotten. Oh, but yeah, no, that was it. Back in BFA, if you climb to the top of 2 of the tallest mountains in Coltiris, at the top of one was like a dragon skeleton, just a random dragon skeleton. If I remember correctly, it was a dragon. I'm pretty sure it was a dragon. So dragon skeleton or demon hunter, but I want to say it was a dragon skeleton. I do think there's a demon hunter at the top of another one though. Then the top of a different one was a. Shoot, I'm trying to remember. Like, oh, there was a skeleton at the top of one. There was a. Oh, it's a dragon skeleton. There's like an explorer at the top of another one, like just off the like the summit of it, just a little bit to kind of says like, oh, he almost made it. And like, oh, you son of a. I'm gonna go. The Naga. The Naga have returned. Illidan. Ah, shoot, I'm out of vigor too. Vigor, and I didn't start from a high spot, so it's kind of hard to. I get. Really? Alright, we'll land and walk. I was hoping that kind of going down there I could try and recharge it, but just wasn't doing it. Yep, come back here, you. So it looks like we've got a lot of enemies up and around here. I need dormant. Wait, what's that? Dormant life bloom seeds. Okay. Apparently that's a thing I need to find too at some point. I need to find the doors open with the Zakera Vault keys. Once again, whatever the frick those are. I already knew a little bit about a couple of the things that they did. Bronze Timekeeper. There's a race up above me here. Alright, what you got? Let's try the course. I'll have to go look to see if there should probably be a quest to do. Actually, there's probably two quests. There's probably a quest to do the normal and to do the advanced. Take back, there's three quests. Normal, advanced, and reversed. Although I might not be able to get the reversed one yet, because I don't think I've finished. I think I finished one of the reverse zones yet. I did the Waking Shore. I think I just finished that because I kind of had the thought process in my head of like, well, I'll do it as the world quests pop up, which is how I've basically been doing them. I haven't actually tried to go all out with them yet. These ones are not pixel perfect, but they're not far off either. Oh yep, I got gold on that one. Sweet. All right, give me a sec, guys. I'm gonna feed the cat. And I'm back, baby. Alright. Is this Southern Reach? 3 days, complete the race. 150 elemental overflow. I'll have to take a look and see. With the way that they were giving out elemental overflow in this one, I wonder if the quest is still the same or if they're taken up. Because it was like, collect 75 elemental overflow. I'm looking at this kind of like, you could probably get like 1,000 easily around here.
Let's have a look at you.
Thanks, with these brigands will take heed. If they're willing to defend these lands, the secrets they contain.
Help others when you can.
In my wings of mercy, I'm grateful you and the scouts have all given blah 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 blah.
I have patience to see.
I want to know
Careful not
why
to
my
anything.
Earth Warders. Wait, are the Earth Warders? Let me see something here. BFA, Legion, Draenor, Mists, Kata. Nope. Earth the Ring, Rachmond, Wildhammer Clan, Armrest Accord, Agent Carantor Knights. I can't imagine it'd be there. I can't imagine it'd be there. Classic? Brood of Nozar Dooms, Dark Moon, Syndicate. I worked my butt off. They're from the Classic? Holy crap! Needs used to enhance the Primal Storm gear to its greatest potential. Well, that's nice! Also, I guess I figured that out, so I guess I'm moving towards another one. I thought I had maxed out everything, and apparently there's another one in the Alliance. Frickin' heck. Those arrive by the time you're in the field. She and her allies are surveying the field and cliffs. Blah blah blah. Meet with her in the cliffs. Okay.
Look out for each other.
Helping hand and claw. Aid Jeb, Touchin, and Wolford at the Sharp Scale Coast.
Take care of yourself.
For the glory of the dragons.
Not the only ones who have noticed the storms abating over the Forbidden Reach. Other interested parties have arrived too, looting everything they can find, storing their spoils in chests if they can use Naltharian's old hoard chests. They're in for a surprise when the chest enhancements lock them out. We need you to clear out the surrounding looters to break the chest's enchantments. See if you can recover a stolen item, specifically my old journal. It's nowhere to be found.
Honor all dragons.
Come, settle
Ugh.
down for a spell.
Finding the challenges of any new village is finding raw building materials. Fortunately, the ocean is enough for me. Take my boat and sail around the island. Along the way, you can collect driftwood and nets. Beware, you may attract some unwanted attention.
I await your return.
Okay, that doesn't look like it'll be a super difficult quest. What is this daily I can see?
Here
I
to
assume that's a one
spy.
daily, but that might be like a bunch of dailies.
Let's get back to training.
Malagos left behind a forces to monitor us while we slept. He's gone, but his minions are still here, making life difficult for everyone. Why did Malagos... Wait, what? Why? The god system using arcane foci. Hi, Cap. I think we could make better use of them. Go and collect some. Their security forces might be out to fight, but that won't be a problem. Take the hint and leave.
You have your orders.
Supercalypse now! King and Tails take over the house. They clearly have no idea what they're dealing with. Station Rejector provide the munitions. Lucian is trying to learn up to cook the Tuskar with mixed results. For volatile. Oh my gosh. They were gonna throw soup monsters at our enemies. I don't know why this is funny to me as it is. Defeat the Iron Damage and drive out the invasion. This shouldn't be this funny. Kill this guy. Whew. Okay. So you can upgrade. Yeah, I can't upgrade that because my stuff's not high enough.
Fair skies and strong winds.
I can't upgrade stuff all the way. I already knew that. What is this? What am I gonna do? I can upgrade. Oh, that's a 10 item level upgrade? Except that's still crap.
Until next.
It's got to be something where they focus that in more on what the frick is this? No cat. Okay. Which faction's envoy would you like to help focus in studying? Okay. Okay, I see. I get it here. Have been on the Dragon Isles for generations, living in harmony. So if you do this, you get increased reps with the Tuskar for 10% for the day. Okay, so theoretically you come back here once a day, and then you can pick who you want to kind of go for. Has me unlock one faction envoy cast per day. So each one of them just improves that one by 10% and unlocks their envoy cast. Well, I'm going to do this one first since the Tuskar is the ones I haven't maxed out yet.
Well now, you're certainly different.
What is the Angular challenge? Catch or restock the fish of the Dragon Skull fishing hole.
Keep the balance preserved.
I'll worry about that part later, I guess.
Have a look around.
As for explosive
These
soup.
goods will serve you well.
Yes, the early experience. What? Okay. What the fuck is in these soups? Like, I must know. This isn't something I must. This spicy soup bomb and peppered puffer. Oh my gosh. What the frick am I doing? Oh look. He's one of these stone guys. He's not feeling too great today. Oh my gosh. What the frick am I doing? What do I need to do here? Just 50. Okay, I need 50. This is just... I'm throwing soup, man. I'm throwing fucking soup. I mean, I'm so confused. What the frick is happening? Soup! Fucking soup! Let me... Okay, there we go. Let me off. Alright, we can turn this one in here.
What do you need? You have your orders.
Alright, so let's go do this one down here next. Throw fish. Throw fish at your enemy. Throw fish at my enemies to stun them. Really? That's more confusing than anything else. Well, at the very least, I'm going to have time at least to do this, since we're not doing raid stuff, for at least right now. This one will probably be... So they just released this here now. They haven't even started doing... Ooh, what's that? Everything needs a freaking key up here, doesn't it? Just trying to catch some shite. You know, I'm throwing these frickin' fishes at them, and I don't feel like it's actually doing jack. That actually did something. Predatory Thresher. Alright, here's go. Last one. And it just auto dumps me back. I suspect that in 10.1 is when they'll actually start to deal with... Oop, I got the Elemental Overload. I have now earned a grand total of 5,000 elementals. Okay. So what do we got going on over here? What's this down here? I want to kind of keep doing stuff around here. Wait, what was that? Up here. Because the other thing I want to do is I do want to get the ring.
Are you certain of this course?
Ah,
The
you're
ring
here,
is
huh?
dangerous, and there are others who would oppose you.
This isle is the closest thing we Drakthir have to a home. Razagath is gone. It is time to claim what is ours.
You speak as though you are
Okay.
going into battle, Emberthal.
To put this one in context, since this is probably something that Blizzard itself wants to make confusing.
Spoken like one who spent millennia cowering in a cave.
We have all been through trials. We have all
Abyssian was introduced back in Legion.
Some more than others.
Abyssian was introduced back in Legion. It was actually theorized at the time that Abyssian actually replaced not Razagath, Wrathion during that expansion, because Abyssian is a black dragon, an uncorrupted black dragon who's been living on High Mountain for shit tons of time, probably at least 10,000 years. So it was theorized at that point that Abyssian was meant to be Rathion originally, but they ended up going with a different character for some reason or another. It didn't actually really make much sense just to swap out characters, although in terms of the total not throwing Rathion into a strange place, it does make it better. But people kind of wondered what happened to him because obviously this expansion they brought back Rathion, but they threw us a whole bunch of new black dragons. And so like, what about Ibisian? Why the frick is he not here?
What do you have to report?
So this is probably them trying to make up for the fact that, oh yeah, we could
Serve with honor.
call him back. Here, the storms have cleared and the creches are open. Now's the time to strike! I'm leading a team of scouts farther into the reach. When you're ready to depart, speak to Talon Demos.
We
Okay.
will find our fate.
Aye, get over here. Mer. Mer. My wings are better than yours.
Well met, Deimos. It's good to see an old friend. It's an honor to serve by your side once again, Scale Commander.
This thing's going to be absolutely worthless for me.
Talon Deimos will be my
Like,
second
it's great for a
command this
catch-up
mission.
to try and push your some of your stuff up to like 395 gear. But if you're running keys, if you're running raid, your item level is
You're
gonna
here.
be higher.
Tired of talking to myself. We're going back into the Reach. That place was our prison for 10,000 years.
Prison. I mean, technically he's right, it was their prison. They were also put in a stage of like suspended animation, so
Keep your head down. Talons, to the skies!
I do remember at least this a little bit. You're gonna have to fly around to try and collect a bunch of stuff from around here. It is nice to actually be able to get. I figured they were gonna come back here. I just thought they might do it in like 10.1, not 10.07. Yeah, another. Oh, that should be an easy one to do. Let me get this one up here quick and let's go. I say that, and this is probably going to be the thing that takes me like an hour to frickin' do, isn't it? Bingo. I also got to figure out where the keys are. I want to figure that one out so I can get that done. That one, I believe, is green? I'm trying to remember this from back when we did the actual opening as a Drakthir. So I think that one looks like, I think that one was green. Or the healing. That's the main one that we came out of, I think. Either that one or that one, but I want to say it was this one. I'll fly around at some point, take a look around, and see if I can actually find like everything else again. And
One of ours. Good. Here comes
yes, I'm here.
Don't worry. I've got this.
Glad to see you make it, soldier. Am I a soldier? It's because I have these warglyphs, isn't it? Help the Dracula scouts secure the lost Anthium.
Stay alert. There is beauty in these ruins. Maybe our past is.
Watch yourself, champion. There's a monstrous crash collar up above. My head's starting to swim. Easy there, Arash. We'll get you out of here.
How do I get up? I want to kill it then. Ah, here's the upward portion. Oh. That's no fun. Come back. Come back, you giant beast. I've come for a challenge. And I'm not leaving without one. Is back. Okay, so it's not much of a challenge. Without the amount of elemental overflow I'm getting if I'm out of here, I'm getting really hard to believe that there's really much of anything that's gonna... I'm gonna be able to do stuff a lot, like, usually by the end of an expansion, I usually expect to have a lot of the currency, whatever currencies they introduce in that particular expansion. I expect to kind of have a decent amount of it by the end of it in order to buy almost everything that I want. I don't make guarantees that it's definitely going to be everything I want, but like, most things. I'll probably be able to buy most things. This isn't going to be a question. I'm going to be able to probably do that now. 40% already. Oh, good. That's great.
Over here. Someone's been through these books. There's recent too. It seems the A sections of these tomes have been torn out. Strange. You best inform Emberthal.
Glowing crystal bookmark. Is that what this is? No, this is Sending Stone initial report. Okay. What is this? Holds the ancient words spoken to Amadatha, to Naltharian, and the ancient. Find the Sending Stone. I would think that a crystal bookmark would be found in here. Yeah, it'd be really nice. In the past, my spectral vision could actually help me in this. I feel like they nerfed it this expansion. Like, I can't see things like I used to with my spectral vision. It didn't have any major use in, like... Well, it does have use in combat. It's when you use it correctly. So, like, Demon Hunters... You don't need to bring a Demon Hunter on certain things, but you want to bring a Demon Hunter on certain things. Like, my group loves it to run. So it's like, Court of Stars is a pretty easy dungeon. Like, people really like to run Court of Stars right now for M+. But they will really love it. If you have a Demon Hunter in your group, it's easy peasy. That's for several different reasons. One of the bigger ones is Demon Hunters have a lot of stuff we can do at the end just because we're Demon Hunters. So, for those of you who don't know what I mean when I'm saying this, Court of Stars has a lot of different things in it. It's a dungeon that varies depending on what your professions and stuff is. So there's a lot of things that happen inside the dungeon that you can get extra stuff for. So there's like traps that you can use if you're, say, a hunter. I think you can use it. Each thing out there has multiple classes that can do it. There's a food. You can get a food buff. These are all like the later portions of the dungeon. There's only like one or two things early game. But the two things you want to have when you go in there is Alchemist, because if you get an Alchemist, you can skip the last 20% of the first boss. It's great. You want that Alchemist there. The second thing you could try to do is... I'm going to try and see if I can hop over there for that rare. The second thing that you kind of want to do is, like, Demon Hunters have multiple things we can do on the back side of it that just, make it better. Ah, shoot, I went too high. That's kind of just makes it better to have a Demon Hunter along for the ride, because we can do the most things. But the biggest reasons why you want to keep a Demon Hunter is when you go into the last area of the game, after you defeat the second boss of 3-boss encounter, and you go into the last area, there's a spy hidden amongst all these party members. So, there's a vault key. Okay, so that's how you get vault keys. You just down rares. Well, that makes life easy. What was I saying? But when you go in there, you have to find the spy. You have to be really sneaky. And so there's 5 clues from different NPCs in there. You have to go talk to them. Each one of them gives you a clue, like, I hear the spy is wearing books, or I hear the spy doesn't like long sleeves. So, oh, well, the spy's wearing short sleeves. The spy's wearing this. The spy's wearing that. So it's something where, it's like you get like all 5 of these clues. This is something they introduced back in Legion when the dungeon was current. You could, after you get all the clues, you don't even technically have to get all the clues. You just have to get at least one clue. You have to just kind of like go in there. And, ow, 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 cat, thank you. Yes, I can see you down there. Obsidian coffer. Let's see if there's anything good in here, shall we? Nope, nothing good. But after you go in there, you do the... you get the quest. It's like, if you're a paladin and you have a transmog of a certain shield. I couldn't tell you which shield it is off the top of my head. I used to know it. Defeat enemies beside it to unlock it. Yes, yes, I see you. I see you, Kane.
Good thing you're here. I get tired of talking to myself.
Cutscene? Cutscene!
Good. You're here. I would just as soon never set foot in a crash again. Emberthal awaits you inside. Oh, and, thank you for aiding us.
Deimos speaks highly of you. Not something he does often. He and the others are looking for answers. A reason for all of this. After everything that's happened, everything we've been through, I'm beginning to wonder if what I'm looking for isn't here.
Emberthal!
No. No.
Be gone. The reach belongs to the sundered flame.
Darkareth!
Deimos. I'm so sorry.
Rathion? No, that's not Rathion. Yeah, it'd be a CN.
I am ready to serve.
I led these directly here. They knew death was a possibility. Collect the horn signet of Testos, horn signet of Arash, horn signet of...
I do not wish to be the harbinger of bad news, but Sundered Flame soldiers are patrolling the Reach. Across the valley, Sundered Flame soldiers are attacking the Dragonscale expedition.
Well, then there's only one thing left to do. It's time to go hunting. Yes. I hunt. Alright, one more. No, two more. Two more signets. Are they both in here? Alright, sweet. Makes my life easy. So I've got the key to open the vault door. We'll have to wait and see exactly what's actually inside of the vault.
Let
Yeah.
us begin. Stay true.
May their names be ever remembered.
Sarakath must pay for his crimes. We cannot let any more Drakthir suffer because of Sarakath's twisted ambitions. If the Sundered Flame is threatening the Dragonskill expedition, then our allies need help.
Serve
I understand your pain, young one.
Do you? How many black dragons have you lost?
All
I
of them.
helped bury generations of the High Mountain tribe, but never my own.
I see. We have both lost many who were close to us. Yet there are others who may yet be saved.
I think it's actually a pretty good idea to bring Abyssian back. I think he's probably the more level-headed of the 3 black dragons. I mean, there's more here, but we're going to stick with those 3 for right now.
There is much to be done. Stage
I'm just going for the friggin' ring. I thought the ring would be up here quick. Kills our own people, he twists our heritage and burns everything in his path. Now he seeks to pillage the Kresh. No. And the Adamantine Vigil. Visi and I will stay here while you push back the center flame. We'll meet you at the top once the expedition is secured. Slay 5 pillagers, 6 rune stalkers, and the Wing Lord. No, I can see it. I can see it in your eyes, cat.
I am
What are you
glad
licking
you
me
are
for?
here.
Does not pose a threat. The fact that he used his followers would be so brazen to attack them during their research. Kane, I will throw you off my lap if you keep doing this. So we need to rescue 5 frightened researchers.
Aspects watch over you.
Alright, let's see what we can find. One rune stalker, 1 pillager. Boom, 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 boom. I am getting thrown off a little bit by the way that the bag has changed this patch. It's just a little thing, but it's just kind of, it just throws me off just a little bit. Okay, so where are... So there's one back over here. We want to try and do this. If we take too long at this, we'll end up having to kill like 3 times as many of everything. Not that that's actually a huge deal. There's just no real point in trying to do it. Ah, man, at least I'm getting plenty of frickin'... No. You do not get to have the legacy of the Doomwalker. Ooh, what's this? Glyph, you say? Well, I don't mind if I do. And there, we got that glyph. Out below. Up above. Down, up, below, around, somewhere in between. What is that? Ooh, notes. Oh. Go away, Shiva. What's this? Lost Expedition Notes. Collect each of the following books in the post-storm Forbidden Reach. We must preserve this place. The layout is highly ceremonial. The turrets, the winding terraces. What does it all mean? Well, it means that the Drakthir have a severe disagreement with each other. Basically what it all amounts down to right now. Unfortunately, they decided to go a little bit all out. So it looks like we've already defeated all the enemies that we needed to. That's kind of what I figured would probably end up happening. Let's go over here. Alright, there we go. So the only thing left I need to do is take out the Wing Lord Iziel. Arizia? What is this? Adamanthia.
Place, Abyssian. It feels
I'm out of range.
huge. I sense a great power.
Who is this?
I need a target.
This is an ancient work of magic. I sense Neltharian's handiwork. This construct should have run out of essence long ago.
I think we're going to get introduced to a new dragon.
They are saturated with black dragon essence. Far more than what you would detect in any one dragon. It's almost as if the symbols are conduits of power.
I want to finish it up, but I also want to see this.
It is drawing that power from the Crashes, from the Draxia themselves. Neltharion was drawing the essence of the black dragonflight from Draxia in stasis. This siphon must have been empowering his dark enchantment while denying that power to the Draxia.
Oh, that's interesting. Shall we go and kill something? Okay, so where's this at? In here? Hello, bitches. There was one thing I did kind of want to ask chat. Is... There we go. What do you think about me trying to get into some collabs? Because I've kind of been debating on it. I had one approach me, although I'm not entirely convinced behind that one. That's something I'll have to figure out on my own. I've had the opportunity to maybe have another one. I'll have to look into that one more. It's just so... It's like, I'm not 100% sure how exactly I want to go about doing collaborations. Direct Death is a tragedy.
serve with honor.
I'm to be able to save so many. We are richer for the knowledge.
Be careful.
There is much to be done.
He awaits you in darkness. I know where Sarakath is. I'll need your help holding him to account. If you want, you could stay here. Dragon's Skull Island.
We need to go.
Patience, young one. Do not let your thirst for vengeance.
Vengeance! This is justice! Sarkareth must be stopped!
We should be cautious.
You spent too long
Ancient words
soaking
spoken
in
by
your
Neltharion
pain, old dragon. If you won't help me, I'll claim justice myself.
I keep finding stones. Okay. I don't even know where half of these quests are popping up at. I just keep getting them. Quick U-turn might be nice as an option. Somebody must have ran away from him. Oh, he's got a lot more health than I thought he would. Well, as long as I play smartly, even that much health should not be a problem for me to try to take down. Especially since I now have a Draxir ally. I don't know, I'm keep swapping into my little Scottish Irish accents tonight. They just feel comfortable. I don't know what quest this one's for either. I just kind of want to do it. This one may prove more difficult since I don't have access to my metamorphosis for right now. Excuse me. Metamorphosis is a great little thing because oh, now this just made this more difficult. for demon hunters, one of our biggest things in terms of sustainability is lifesteal, or leech, technically, is what they call it in this game. But yeah, so one of the things that we can do while we're in metamorphosis form is we get a crap ton of overall leech. So like when I took the talent, it's a great talent to have. So when you're not in your demon form, you can just kind of like run around normal. I have 20% leech. Yeah, it says 23 because I technically have 23 right now. What is this? Mark the location of special treasure on your map. Anybody see special treasure? Oh, there. Okay. Wondrous fish. Sweet. All right. But I only got 3 focus. That's the kind of thing that's more surprising to me right now. Just like I'm not finding these focuses. But what you do is you can take a talent that gives you 20% leech at all times. It's a great talent to take. I highly suggest having it. Then, when you hit your metamorphosized form, your eye beams transform you. You use the actual metamorphosis talent, skill, whatever. Either one of them, whichever one you end up going with. Ah, got another key. That gives you an additional 20%. So I end up with over 40% right now because I also have leech on a couple of my gear, some of my gear. So what usually ends up happening, I was actually running with my kind of group, and the heal was asking how I was doing, because they were looking at the heal charts, and he was trying to figure out, because like my brother usually runs this tank, a druid tank, so he's usually pretty high up on the heal stuff just because as a druid he can do crap tons of healing without like trying. Then obviously the heal was like number 1, but he wasn't number 1 by much. His gear wasn't great. He's slowly getting better at what he's kind of been trying to do. Then he was sitting there going like, how on earth is Fib at number 3? How on earth is his so high? And we're like, well, it's because technically I'm healing. All of my leech, picking up these will each give me either 12 or 25% heal. So that's all technically healing, but it's not helping anybody. So for like those two, they can throw heals on themselves, they can throw heals on others, they can throw heals on anything out there. I can't do that. Leech is me. I have massive sustainability, but I can't help anybody else with theirs. Alright, I need one more. Channel this. Come on. Give me one. Nothing? Really? That gave me Jack.
I'm out of range.
Come on, I only need one more. One more arcane focus, and then we're done with this. There's my last arcane focus. I have got so many freaking quests over there. Alright, let's see if I can find this rare spawn down below. Ah. Trees are my mortal enemy. go. You can't stop me, hunter. And there he goes. 3 keys. Wait, was that a 1,000? I got almost 11. How much do I have? 9,000. Oh my gosh. I just got the achievement earlier today for the first time having like 11k. Actually. I'm going to go back over here to this wondrous fish marking. Is it this one? No. Just because I'm not entirely sure once I actually get... There's the wondrous fish. Alright, do I just... Okay, I just guess. I just do this. I got a wondrous fish. Can be traded to the envoy on the Issachar Tuskar on the Forbidden Reach. I guess that's how that works. But what I was saying is, like, I'm not entirely convinced that what's going to end up happening. Catch 50 or restock 25 fish. What's this one down here? Jeb and Tachibana. Alright, I'll get back to that one here in just a few minutes. Oop, let's go up. Well, that didn't take long, did it? So what was it? Catch 50 or restock 25. Ah, come back here, you. What's this? Do a fishing net.
Well now.
Collect fish to restock the fishing pool, mount to have Drake, and house them from above. Okay.
Keep the balance preserved.
Okay. So usually, we'll see. I'm not gonna hold my breath that this will actually do. Because usually what it is like there's 2 ways to restock. There's a bunch of different fishing holes. Usually what it is in terms of like restocking is that you can do like different quests, and the quests that you do will restock the fish. With that, there's also still the option to like take some of the fish that you catch, and you can turn in certain numbers of them and get them. Come here, you. Thought that was something important for a few seconds.
The day just became more interesting.
Okay. So that took me up to 82%.
A stranger here?
So I could just...
I await your return with pleasure.
So let me go ahead and just catch a fish here. So now that I'm up to 82%, this won't take very long. I assume. Let me find out. $84. Okay, so it's still going to take a little bit of time. Each one's 2%, 16, so I'd have to catch 8 more fish. Kind of stinks a little bit. It is nice that the quest does aid you. 80%, that seems like a huge amount too. Obviously, I think you'd only have to do like half as much if you wanted to turn fish in. But then you have to step back and consider cooking. Because obviously, one of the biggest things you can do, although a lot of people have been going around it, but you have your cooking talent. And so with your cooking talent in, you could just, right, cat. You can just, you want to be able to cook up, obviously, some of the different fish and stuff that you can do. You don't necessarily need all of your fish, though. I don't know.
Well now, you're certainly a surprise.
I don't have 20 of, like, any
Farewell
fish, though.
then, friend.
Or at the very least, I don't have 20 fish on me. But at the same time, I only need to catch 5 more fish, so this just probably is easiest thing to do. Yeah, there was some thresher, huh? Let's see where this puppy falls in line. Hopefully. Yeah, so there's the... You son of a... No, no. No going deep. You get your butt back here. I'm never gonna get him in, am I? Usually the other ones, there's usually 2 nets. You can collect, that might be one where I'm just gonna have to let him go. I'm just kind of sitting here looking at this going like, he's outside of range of my reach now. I'm not gonna try. It's like, the other thing I should do, I really should go around. I didn't actually, like, finish maxing out, like, all the stuff with the Tuskar. Because there's, like, you can do a, oh, my fishing improved to 84. Sweet. That means technically I am now over max. You can improve, like, a lot of things that they do there, like your harpoon that they give you and stuff like that, by doing a, by collecting just random junk and things like that. I'd have to actually, like, go through and find where those specific things are. Like, you can ask the... If you pull it, like, I have to go down to the Tuskar village. If you go down to the Tuskar village and you kind of, like, ask them, hey, where's, you don't have to ask. You pull up the crafting menu, it kind of says, like, here's the thing, you could find this. If you can find a way to get this or that, or, you know, get something, basically, is what it tells you to do. Shoot, that's not what I wanted to do. There's what I wanted to do.
Let us begin.
I knew you'd come.
Fair skies and
Ooh,
strong
wait, what'd I get to?
winds.
I'm friendly with the Obsidian Warders. Yay! I've not been here for a long time, not since that before I was a scale commander. It's a dark place full of pain and failure. This is where Naltharion tested those he considered the most worthy and most attention. He poked and prodded us with powers we could not understand or control. Many of us were found wanting. Zack Sarakath brought me here to test me in the same way our father tested us. Will you walk with me?
Lead the way, hero.
Let's go then.
Here we are, at long last.
Sokareth! You'll pay for the Drakthir blood
Don't
you
have a
spilled.
target.
Let's go ahead and get that.
Hear now the words of the Earth Warder, the voice of your creator.
I remember this place. Naltharion told us it would hone our minds. We marched through these caves for hours. Days. The echoes of his voice overwhelmed everything.
Will not spare the Dane.
Echoes of his voice overwhelmed everything, even our own thoughts.
I need to target something called the weak from our ranks. The unworthy perished.
Well, the one thing that we do know from watching it is that he did use a Titan artifact to essentially mind control all the Drakthir.
Have you forgotten this place? The lessons Neltharion taught us.
I remember that we will never find our future until we let go of the past. There is nothing for us here.
I'd kind of like to find all 4 of these forbidden memories.
The power in these caves is
Ooh, Primalist
timeless,
Bracer.
as is the failure
Let's
of
create a
those whose
soulbound
bones
item.
litter its floor.
Less because I want it, and more because I think it'll be a transmog. It's probably a Oh, excuse me for a second. It's more than likely an complete transmog, but they don't actually tell you it's a completed transmog. There's a bunch of different ones like that where it's all like one set, but it doesn't actually label it as a set. Ah, there's another one. I was wondering whether or not it would actually point us to it.
Deep within the halls of Aberrus, I forged you, my ideal soldiers, my Drakthir. Bound by unfaltering unity to fight the wars others could not.
He was our general once. He trained us, watched over us. What changed? When did we become mere tools to be discarded?
That would more than likely be something to akin to the old gods.
You are my talons, honed to strike at the very hearts of my enemies. That is your purpose, the destiny that lies before you. Your obedience, your loyalty must never falter.
Interesting.
No. Your legacy is nothing but death.
Well, it kind of goes with the territory. He was known as Deathwing, heir to the end. This is something where it's definitely going to be a decent amount of time I'm going to have to spend up here. They haven't introduced any... Well, I suppose I can't really say that.
My legacy lies deep within the earth. In the darkness, you will find strength. Serve my will, and one day the world will tremble before your might.
I need to leave this place before I lose myself to the darkness.
Give in to the shadows and the flames of war once more.
Failed Scale Commander. This is literally a freaking skeleton.
Look upon the fallen. See their weakness as I see yours. This is our inheritance. The strength that Neltharion gave us. The power that is ours by right. Yet you would throw it all away.
He betrayed us. He betrayed the aspects. He betrayed Azeroth!
The Earthwarder had the strength to see his vision made manifest. I will claim that strength and use it to lead our people to victory.
No, you won't. strength to see his vision made manifest. Yet, he's kind of dead. By my hand, I might add. Elemental overload would be a good way to kind of build up.
I am ready to serve.
The frick? Oh, great. Okay, we have them cornered. Why aren't they? They aren't attacking. Why? What trick is this? All right, so I just get all this sweetness.
Do you see now, Emberthal? We are Neltharion's ultimate vision. His masterpiece.
Yet you would throw Drakthir lives away for power? What could we be owed that demands so bloody a price?
Purpose, Emberthal. We are owed a purpose. Neltharion's secrets are hidden somewhere in the Dragon Isles. And when I find them,
You're looking too far up. Try going
I
down.
won't let you lead our people to ruin, Sarkareth.
Emberthal. You would heed the command of a dragon rather than face me in battle. Pitiful. You have forgotten what it means to be Drakthir.
I don't want to fight you.
Better that your soldiers died in stasis rather than live to see what you become. Stay here with your new master. Follow me, and I will end you.
What do you have to report?
I should entrust you to Viridia. She's working with the Healing Wings and build a safe place for the Drakthir, the Tuskar, and other allies. We have a home here, and I have some thinking to do. Gratefully walk beside me through this trail. This isn't over, but at least I know that the next time we face Saraketh, we can count on you. Thank you.
Serve with honor.
Oop, cutscene time!
If you were to follow him, what would you do?
Extinguish my enemy, as I was trained to.
By Neltharion. But this time, the enemy is one of your own. As are the Drakthir that follow him. Soldiers who, like you, were conditioned to claim victory at any cost.
How dare you presume to know us? You, who hid among mortals while other dragons fought and died to protect our world.
You're right. I was content to be simply Ebonhorn, and High Mountain was my home. I should have done more.
Why didn't you?
Because I too am Neltharion's offspring, and it brought me only shame. I came here to face that, and found you.
You must be disappointed.
No. Just now, you defied his voice inside you. Chose compassion over violence. Our family does not have to live in his shadow.
Family. When I awoke, they were gone. All of them. For the first time, I was alone. And it terrified me. And when Sarkareth killed the others,
Emberthal, he will face justice for what he has done.
will you help me, Abyssian?
We will help each other.
Ah! That's actually really nice. So there's going to be, at some point, at this point in the game, we still haven't actually officially labeled a new aspect of the Black Dragon Flight. Now, obviously, the game up till this point has been presuming Sibelian or Rathion. Personally, I'd go with Rathion between the two. But now we also have Abyssian is back. I don't think Abyssian will lead. I don't think he wants to be the Black Dragon Flight. I don't think he wants to be the aspect of the Black Dragon Flight. The thing is, and this is one of the things people have been a little bit complaining about, is the fact that they essentially have built Rathion up to be that this entire time, and then almost immediately turned around and kind of did a, oh, well, here's his brother that nobody knew about who's been hiding out over in Outland. It came across as very forced, very... I'm trying to think of the best word for it. Very annoying. Like, there's a moment when you're talking to Sibelian. Throw it at him. There we go. There's a moment when you talk to Sibelian early on. How much does he have? He's only got 700? Oh, frick yes. So this one isn't even going to be a fight then. Alright, back to what I was doing. But the thing is that people were a little frustrated by the fact that Blizzard even bothered to introduce Sibelian into the series, because they try to make Sibelian into like, oh, maybe he could be the one who's actually going to be the leader of the Black Dragonflight. And we're kind of like, so Rathion, who's been here for a while, he's got his problems. I can go into detail on Rathion's problems. But I'm like, but Sibelian has basically took all of his people, ran away to Outland, and has been hiding out in Outland the entire time. Lift. We hope to see you there soon.
Let's meet up later, okay?
That's it? Okay. I thought there was going to be more to that storyline. Well, there might be something when we get back here. I've got like 9 quests to turn in. War Crush subdued. 450, 28 gold. You see, these are definitely ones where it's like, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but we're talking like 228 gold is bleh. Alright, turn that in. 300. I think I'm at my last... Okay, we'll let this one go. Yeah, I've only got one more I need to do. So I get one more, so I get a... Receive a Primal Infusion. This can be used as an optional... I don't actually need a Primal Infusion. I have a crap ton of Primal Infusions. Acquire 2 Armored Otuk mounts. Yellow, brown. Yellow and brown. Okay, that's good. And I get the title of Iskara to reflect my friendship with them. So we're almost done maxing everybody out. I thought I might get it this week, but I wasn't 100% sure if I would or wouldn't. Turn that one in. Go up here and turn this one in.
Have a look around. These goods will serve you.
Thank you. You've demolished the risk of our rescue operations.
Good to be of service.
I'm going to max out the Obsidian Warders, too.
What is your report? The Trek fear.
What have I found? I have found crap tons of stuff.
Stay true to your
I found an initial report. They knew we were not broken, but they still kept us in stasis. I will have translated this for all to read. It might provide insight. And final warning. Now, Therion was attempting to stop Adamanthia from doing, then added to the logs make good sense. But I assume that's destroyed after use. I don't know. I'm not gonna try and figure that crap out either.
Appreciate you doing this. Just be careful. The Reach holds many secrets, some more dangerous than others.
I looked at it wasn't easy. I'm not looking forward to dealing with Saraketh again, but we'll be ready the next time. For now, we'll have more pressing matter at hands. Of course we do. Exploring our past. With your help, we can now delve deeper into the secrets of the land. Nearby lay the Zeskir vaults. Within these large underground chambers, nothing are stored various treasures and forgotten research. Exploring these vaults would be most beneficial. Alright, so we finally get to open the vaults. I've only got like 8 keys. What do I have? I have 3 keys. Okay, so I don't have 8 keys. I only have 3 keys. Oh, there it is. Ah, stop! Freaking. Greetings, I am looking for items for power from my flight's past. We have a history of great warriors and battle prowess. And then once you recover such items to help us with the reach again, I heard from vaults and see if you can locate an object. Okay. Behind you, the master's door, some multiple forges here. Are you ready? I am. I am prepared. Alright, I have discovered a series of vaults below the island. Now Therion hoarded treasures, accumulated knickknacks, and stashed away the results of his failed experiments. When I say he's a hoarder, I'm not kidding. He's filled chamber after chamber, and in time they were all forgotten until now. Treasures away, also the occasional death trap, also treasure. The keys to unlock. So explore the vault as.
What are you up to today?
Okay. Can I trust you? These are the only keys we have. If we lose them, we can't open any locked doors. Here, take them. Use them on the doors within this chamber. You look like a hero. Be bold. Throw these keys wide. Throw these doors wide. You'll find glory or something that is not glory, but still amazing. Just don't die. We might find more, but we have to search. Take the keys.
Don't forget to
Okay, so I didn't actually have to
let me know if you find anything.
technically find these. Let's explore. So let's see exactly how these vaults are working. Be the first to visit these vaults in a long time. Okay, so this is going to be... I wonder here. We'll have to wait and see exactly how they play this one out. It looks like it's going to be, we're just going to have to get more keys and then we can delve deeper and deeper and deeper into said vault. So right now I have... Shoot, I didn't get a chance to move in time. Oh, well, we'll just kill you instead. Alright, so there's 2 quests here and a bunch of locked doors. Ah, here's the ring. Unusual markings. It might be of interest to one of the Drakthir at Morkut village. The ring. So that's the ring. That's the new ring that we should be able to power up, I think, to 425. What is this? Odd device. That must be the item I was looking for. Or maybe one of the items I was looking for. Okay. So let's open a door. What's behind door number 1? Oh, there's a quest in here. Somewhere. Where's the... Ooh. Journal entry silence. Ambivalent magic, scribed in ultraconic, scale commanders, blah 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 blah. Okay. I can see a quest mark on my map, but I can't tell where's the quest mark supposed to be at. It's like I'm sitting on top of it here.
Wait till you hear what I found. Don't forget to look behind the waterfalls.
I don't want to leave. I want to know what this quest is.
If you're looking for adventure, I'm your man.
Keep your eyes peeled and your ears perked up.
I don't want to stay on here for too long or I'll end up frickin' dying. But I don't... wonder if my game is glitched out again. It almost always seems to happen when you get into stuff early on here. Let me try a reload. If I can spell today, that would make it a lot easier. So let's try to reload and see if maybe that will reset the area enough that I can actually maybe find whatever this quest is. Because I get the feeling each one's going to have it. It's going to be something small, probably minuscule, not very important. How many keys? I had 3 keys. They gave me 6 keys, so I've got 9 keys. I might have enough keys to open up all the doors now, actually. Interesting. Is it me? I feel like my model looks weird having these warglaives on my back. I think it looks freaking sweet, but it looks kind of weird at the same time. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, this is above me. Okay, so no, there is no quest. Come on, move your crap. All right, so there is no quest in there. What is this? Reagent pot. Ooh, got 2 awakened fire. Guess that's useful. Let's find out what's behind door number 2. Lowering chain. What the frick is a lowering chain, and what am I going to do with it? Somewhere a chain-bound chest has been lowered. Okay, interesting. Freezing ice stone. Okay. That I think I can put into... Let's take a look and see. I think I can put that into my chest. Or not my chest, into the ring. Web rope, wet rope. Can I actually? Ah, okay. Now I kind of get it. Okay. So there's all of these ones around here, and I think over time we can kind of crawl our way up each one. Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so they give you enough keys to open up all the doors on the floor here. Or another vault. As Ur Ix Kix. Focus on the treasure, but I wouldn't mind finding a way.
Keep a cool head.
Yeah. Okay. Can I was just trying to come back in here going like, the other one I could open up the treasure chest. I can't open up any chests in here. Alright, let's just keep opening up some of the extra rooms and stuff in here. We have enough keys. There's no real point in, not opening them all up. Oh, looks like I got caught. Alright, let's pick up all the stuff we got in here. Reagent pot. Wait, what was that? Herbalism. Okay. I'm running out of space here. Now, Therian gift token. A redeemable gift token acceptable by the prototype Tinker Tron. I have no idea who that is either. I have to figure out where some of this stuff is at. Ooh, was that a companion? I got a new pet. Prismatic. Combine 7 with the experimental melder to create a new unknown gem. That might be useful too. Thing I'm a little bit nervous about here. Hello, I'm dead. I am mostly the deads. Good gosh, I'm slow as crap too. Health increased by 300. Movement reduced by 30. Cannot mount. Well, I'm inside, so that's not a big deal right now. That's not what I want. Don't go. Don't go climbing. We're not climbing yet. We're going to keep moving around here. Forgotten research. That's this one. Powerful Flask of Renewal. Where's that at here? Restores 30% health. 5-minute cooldown. Duration 2 hours. Okay, not great. Not terrible, but not great. Pestilence Plague Stone. It's another one of those items. Dealing damage has a chance to infect the target with a plague that spreads to nearby enemies. Downside here is I don't think either one of these guys. I can probably just come back and forth as I will want to now. I just kind of was hoping to open up everything that I could now. So we got Reflective Arcane. Strange Petrified Orb. My Strange Petrified Orb and scrap a Black Dragon Scale to reverse petrification. Dormant Primordial Fragment. Man, I've only got... I'm still missing stuff.
I can't carry anymore.
Man, am I gonna... I need to empty my friggin' bags. Got so much crap in here. I've got 4 more. Alright, can I go outside and come back in? That's my assumption that I can't do anyway. I'm hoping. I'm really hoping considering I still got keys left. Alright, let's do repair and let's start selling some junk stuff off here. Oops. I want to keep that. I mean, good gosh, Blizzard. I don't... What am I supposed to do with half of this crap? Create a soulbound. Well, at least that's a Blizzard account bound, so I can send that over to somebody else at least. I can equip that.
Farewell, friend of the Grummle.
Okay.
Climbed any mountains lately?
What's behind the next door?
Let me know if you find anything neat.
Enter the vault and open 3 more doors.
Good to see you again.
Let's see here. An importance of this expedition cannot be underestimated. I assure you all who participate have a place in history alongside me, of course. So scary, my scholar be assured. With some kindness to find me something memorable. I can't talk today. Blech. Okay, you're next.
Something you need. Don't underestimate.
Something, it doesn't seem to be something. Weapon, I suppose. You never know.
I won't be far.
I must admit, I'm out of my depth here. It is a black dragon make. The decoration of the pommel matches, but I have no idea what it is, which I think is the point. Travel with the house. Do you have a recommendation who to talk to?
I'm sure we'll meet again.
Alright, do I just talk to you?
You best be prepared.
Back into the vault, I say. The one thing that Blizzard's done so far this expansion that's really kind of annoyed me is that they've made this so frickin'... I mean, like, my bags are full constantly. Usually that takes me at least part of an expansion to reach that far. What is this here? Okay. So it would usually at least take me a couple parts of an expansion to reach the stage where all of my bags are just constantly full of crap. They managed to do it in less than a patch. So we still got, what, 4 keys? Where are my keys at? It's 4 keys. So we got 4 keys left. We got a quest now to open another 3 doors. We'll do that up on the 2nd floor. Defeating enemies and things like that seem to be enough for us to get most of the keys that we need. I'd like to figure out what this quest is that's above me, but it looks like that's actually more than 1 level above me. And my assumption is that I need to open doors to find, like, these web ropes. I don't think were here originally. I could be wrong, but I think we need to open doors until we find something that, like, lowers down the way upwards, until we can actually somewhat officially. Oh, that kind of seems strange if I can only find 9. Alright, let's go up. There are still 2 doors down here that the game wouldn't let us open. I want to. One door I do want to open up. I'm looking at this. My map up here. Because it's got this, like, hardened strong box. I want to know what that is. I want to know what's going on in here. Couple gold rings. Crate of unfinished scrolls. Random location within the current vaults. Interesting. Scrap of those. Okay, so I've got those. Can I? Oh, I can. Combine your particularly ordinary egg and a drop of dragon magic. Drop a blue dragon magic to enchant it. Where do I get a drop of blue dragon magic? Malagos, can you help us? Condensed frost magic. Create a primordial stone from the frost family. Alright. Abilities have a chance to drench nearby ally, healing them for crap tons of healing. That's actually pretty good. But wasn't there? I swear there was something in here. Alright, let's give this a whirl and see what happens. Ooh, yay, I moved 2 doors over. Let's open up this one. I was looking to see if maybe it would teleport me to a higher level. Exposed fish. Or escaped fish, excuse me. Missing restorative water. So it looks like there's going to be stuff that we can find. Cold frost stone. So it looks like right now, it looks like there's probably going to be stuff that we can find in the vault to use to kind of like complete sets or something like along those lines. Well, I have it. Might as well. Nope. Okay. Still trying to hoping. More keys. Not keys. Another set of notes. Doesn't really look like there's much in. This room looks more like a bus than anything else. It's got the 2 like wards. Seems strange that they would just kind of have a room that really doesn't do jack in it. That doesn't really have anything. Alright, let's go in this one. Last one I can open today. And there's resilient goo. Okay. So I got a gem. Condensed fire magic. Create a primordial gem from the fire. There it is. Entropic Fellstone. Fire damage dealt by primordial stones. Its damage is increased by 60% and is now chaos damage. Cool. Let's grab this and then we'll take a look and see if there's anything in this one or something happens with this one. Nope, just more of the dormant primordial fragment. Alright, so we're still... How many more doors do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4 more doors on this floor. Plus we're not done. That one needs a restorative water of some kind or another. I have to figure out exactly what that actually means and what it wants. Got these wards here. Trying to look around and see if there's anything else. I don't see anything. Alright, let's get out of here. I feel like it's pretty sure that we can probably come back and forth relatively easily. I'm not sure if the game will be like, you have to have a certain number of keys before we'll let you back in or not. But you know what? I just realized that
What are you up to
that
today?
might have let me do something. Oh well. I'm sure we'll find another vault to explore in a few days. My curiosity is killing me.
Let me know if you find anything neat.
Another fan!
Here you go.
Hello there! Maybe someday you'll be famous, like me.
Who could we ask about this? We could dress the Dragonskill expedition, but Rathian, Sibelian, Alexstrasza. Let's just start at the top. I know my brother, she would make time for me. From the continent, she is wise. One look from her, and it's likely she is everything you are and might be. I find her very intimidating. She's nice when you get to know her. She was at war with my life for the last 10,000 years. Okay. Rathian. I don't think he seems... Alright. Civilian? No, he did serve on a Neltharion. Alright, so fine. Dragon scale. I'm out of suggestions. I know an old dragon that Veritas... Ah. So it makes you go through all that.
Well, you're certainly
I'm willing to give it a shot.
We'll speak later.
Ruby Life Shrine, are you sure this is not an attempt to make it true to Alexstrasza? She's not at the Ruby Life Shrine, technically. So if I talk to you... Yeah, so I could go back down in there if I wanted to. Anytime. That is good to know. Alright, now let's go over here. And we can kind of finish up... Oop. Where is my quest marker going then? I don't... It's probably following that quest if I actually am, technically. Alright, let's go talk to you.
Only the finest.
I've not seen relics since before our awakening. It's a special ring clearly crafted by Neltharion smiths. Might be of use to you.
Will that be all? Thank you.
You can affix such a variety of gems to enhance its power. You should journey back into... Okay, primordial jeweler kit. That's what you'll need. Collect the primordial jeweler's kit and the primordial anvil from the
A
vaults.
fair exchange.
Hopefully I can.
Respect must be earned.
Silence that lasts for many thousands of years, all because of one order. Follow such an order. Blah, blah, blah.
The Trek fear.
The obsidian waters. Man, I'm already most of the way through friendly. Alright, let's see if we can actually get these kits and stuff from back down in here.
There's nothing I can't scale.
More than likely, my assumption is that you do have the ability to... he did that today. Yeah, it's just, you couldn't really get... You could get elemental overflow, but you couldn't get, like, crap tons of it. I do want to grab this for a second. Alright, there's the jeweler's kit. As a jewel crafter, I do dare say. Protective. Give me a chance to inflict fire damage to enemies. I don't think this will actually... I figured it out. Flame licked stone. So in a room that's covered by like all the lava and everything in here, it wouldn't let me open any chests or anything. But if I put this on, I can. So that's good to know. There are certain rooms where you're actually somewhat limited. Let's go upstairs here for a second. I doubt it. But let me see if this actually does what it might do. No, okay. Didn't think so. I didn't think so. Since it specifically mentioned like a restorative water, I'm willing to bet that it's actually something I would physically need. Wait, do I need? I do need to be on the second floor. That is interesting to me. Because unless you would leave and come back, is you just kind of did what I did and you just kept opening up doors. I mean, I had the potential to actually not be able to finish this quest. I just happened to open up the door that I needed to. I had 9 keys because they gave me 6, but they only give you enough to really open up the first floor and kind of open your way up to the second one. That is a little bit tricky there, game. Are you trying to do your expansionary bullarchy again? It's not as bad as it was back in Najdatar. Najdatar was one of like the worst ones I ever saw because it literally just came to a point where it's like, by the way, you need to gain 3 levels on your follower. You could gain 1 level a day unless you wanted to spend hours and hours and hours trying to find like the smaller ones that would gain you just a little bit of XP for them. It was just so stupid. For instance, just so wonderful.
Thank you for browsing.
This opens up a bold new possibilities.
Let us discuss business.
Okay, so what do I have to use? Okay, so you use them to buy stuff from him. It does make sense. I already have... It's not a higher item level.
A pleasure doing business.
Okay, so that'll break it down. Pull an ingrained primordial. Okay. Okay. So, let's see what happens if I do this.
I can't use that.
Primordial stone into fragments.
I can't use
I don't have any primordial stones, do I? I used all of my... Wait, This is primordial stone. So you could destroy that. I think if you destroy the primordial stones... I don't want to try it. If you destroy the primordial stones, it becomes a dormant primordial fragment. Or you could use this over here to pull fragments out. This... You could slot stuff in, so I could like put this... Yeah, here. So that would grant me, okay, so it would grant me this. Fire damage dealt by primordial stones is increased by 16, now is chaos. Which would actually technically be a little bit useful for me, because my chaos damage is improved by my mastery. But mastery is not something you usually want to stack. Dealing fire has a chance to set enemies on fire. I already have a ring that does that, so that would actually be somewhat useful to have. This is something I think I'm gonna have to like sim out stuff to try and figure out what's the best here. Or the other thing would be just to kind of like wait it out. Um, like you put all like I could put all 3 of these in here and just deal damage. But this would be something I think I need to like sim it out to take a look at it and actually CC uh, all the stuff to go with it. I don't have any reason to kind of do some of this stuff here.
I have much to
Tangible power responsibilities. The other found worthy. There's rings for left in the fall. He designed the ring with the sockets to allow for maximum customization. You can use different primordial gems. The sockets to help overcome any problem in my face.
a fair exchange.
How do I get break primordial gems? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Will that be all?
Using the tools from the primordial kit, you can remove the gems to your ring. These gems you can have reslotted into later or broken down. Yep, so that's what I thought. So,
A pleasure doing business.
I want to try. I want to try and get over there really quick. I don't know if I'll actually make it or not. Charge up the lightning conduits.
It's locked.
Okay, so I have 4 stacks.
I need a target. I don't have a target.
This seems very poorly thought through.
I need to target something first. I don't have a target.
How do you...
It's locked.
And that's gonna be about the only thing I think we have to like try and get them over there, because it says it might be bugged. Great. I was gonna sit there like, because these are more definitely the things.
I need a target. I need to target something first.
But it's telling me I have to target something, but I can't target something.
I need to target something first.
Uh,
I don't have a target. I need to target something first.
bring the ads to the target conduits. I don't know. I'm beginning to think that this one's just flat out bugged. Alright, let me look something up here quick. Not trial. Trial of Storms. Letting routes, but they cannot be interacted with. The extra button does nothing. It's bugged. They added the conduits, but now we can't target them. Do they even work on this before shipping? Bump, but still no dice. There's no point in hanging around here. I mean, there's literally there's no point in hanging around. The game is bugged. It won't actually do. Holy crap, that is a lot of HP. I'll pull this back up. That is a shite ton of HP. I mean, we got 2600 Iron Dwarf Warrior. Warriors are pretty OP, especially it looked like he was playing in Protection spec, which is incredibly OP. Two Demon Hunters. This guy's just got a crap ton of health to him. That's about all he's got. Do need to keep an eye out for that storm one, as that knocked off nearly half my health after what I assume was just one hit. Not super surprising considering that this guy is almost a mini world boss. I don't know what that is. Doesn't really look like it's hurting me. Ah, we got him down here. I wasn't too concerned. It's not necessarily... Really? Cloth? Cloth is what you give me. Fine, whatever. I'm not going to hang around. There's no point. There's literally no point in hanging around. So I've got 1, 2, 3, it looks like 4 more. Wait, do I have enough? I do have enough. There we go. So now I can slow down. U-turn would definitely be better. I would definitely agree with you on that, Carvine. U-turn I would like a lot more than I would like that. Okay. I am going to... I think I've done basically everything I can do. I mean, there's some stuff I can still do, but that's more grindy aspect stuff. That's not like a, oh yeah, we can just sit here and do this. So I'm going to head back to Valdrakken. He's watching me. Do you fear the glaives? Now that I know how to kind of play around with my, play around with some of the like items and stuff like that, and I can probably get more. I think I'm going to start playing around trying to do some stuff like this with my model, just to have these around. I really wish I had known. This is definitely going to become like my go-to look for World of Warcraft streams for the near future, because I think this is awesome. Oh, I wonder if I could get... I could. I just had an idea in my head. No, I wanted to... That's something else. That's a different thing. I was like, I've thought about like one of my favorite game series, I love to try and do this again, was the Legacy of Kain. And I sat there and like, you could do Legacy of Kain again. And I'm like, oh, you know what? That might not be a good idea. I'll try to explain this to you. I have no idea if this would work on stream or not. Oh, you're probably just gonna. Another Nanners and an exploding dragon scale. It seems that Darwin Vale has something of interest. The Forbidden Reach. They're gonna have something to go me over in the Forbidden Reach. I just know it. All right. Booyah! 550. Wait, 550. Oh, that's right. Because right now I have a 10% bonus to them. And Dragon Shard Knowledge. That's the more important thing for me personally. Just look at all this crap I've got now. And look at all of it. My bag is literally stuffed to the brim. The worst part is, even if I get to the point where I can have the new bags, that is literally this bag. No, this bag and this bag. I get 4 more. 4 more slots. I could get 4 more slots in total off of this one. But look at it. My reagent bank is stuffed to the brim. This is stuffed to the brim. I still have crap overflowing out of it. I don't know what to do. I do have an idea on one thing I could do. Like this stuff, I don't know what the frick to do with this stuff. This stuff's soulbound. I can't even sell the darn thing. I'd love just to sell it and get rid of it. That'd probably be the easier thing to do. But anywho, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to end off the stream here. This was a lot of fun. I'm really, really excited to see what we're going to do going forward. I'll try to keep you guys updated on this. Right now, the plan is Thursday to do Minecraft. Just kind of go out, have some fun. I've got some stuff planned. I do have another farm I want to build, but that's down the road because I just need a crap ton of a couple different types of material. I'll show you a couple new things, some stuff I've been working on when I work on doing some stuff. Assuming I get to Minecraft on Thursday. I do have other games that I'm kind of like, I could play that, or I could play that, or I could play that. So kind of like right now, Minecraft is my default because it's just an easy game to just go and do. I might do something else. Keep in mind with my Twitter to try and keep up to date. I'm going to be talking with a couple different people. I'm hoping here in the next week or two, maybe do a collab with some people. Just try and grow because the biggest thing right now is still to try to reach affiliated status. Right now we're averaging about 1.2 views per stream. So if you guys, I really, really need you guys to kind of come in, watch the streams. There's a lot of stuff we could do once we reach affiliated, but I can't do it without you guys. So yeah, right now, so like Thursday is probably going to be Minecraft. We have no raids in the upcoming weeks until 10.1 drops, and even before then, the idea is going to be that I will be. I'll probably do this again, 10.1 day 1. We'll have to wait and see exactly how that works out. If I do day 2, day 3, and go on and so forth, yada yada yada. But definitely day 1. That's kind of my plan for World of Warcraft. Is kind of like do day 1 launch streams, and do raids for right now. We'll see how well that works out if I end up changing that or not. And then when new expansions come out, for as long as I'm still playing, just kind of do what I did, do like a week long constant stream of the new expansion until we're done. But anyway, thank you for everybody who came on by. I will hopefully see you guys again on Thursday. Take care. Let's see if I can get my music that actually wants to work with me again this time. It doesn't always. Yeah, there it goes.